Good evening, people. I'm going to do a video on Prince Philip. It, I'm going to give a little disclaimer. I've got nothing but positivity for everybody, for all the royal family, for every person on the planet. But I'm just going to speak it as I see it. Now, you might have a different opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong or anything like that. I'm just saying this is how I see the world and how I see the situation. Now, obviously, he's passed away today. Many condolences to the family, to the royal family. Despite my belief system, a human being still is cherished, should be cherished, and should live out their lives free. Now, obviously, he was German born. I have a belief system. He's either a Nazi sympathiser or he's a full-blown Nazi. And I know he fought against apparently in the Second World War, he fought against the Germans. A German-born man fought against the Germans. I know there's talk of him being Greek, but he was only educated in Greece, and it's plain to see if you dig a bit deeper than the average media outlet or propaganda. Now, I'm just going to say, look, my beef is, he was an immigrant to this country. And all I see is him take all his life. I mean, he did things for charity. He's had racist comments. He's done all sorts of bad stuff over the years. And I'm not really wanting to press on that. I'm just going to call him as I see him. Now, the royal family are benefited with the benefit of not being able to follow any laws, which I don't agree with. He broke a woman's. He was drink driving. Well, let's say this: when he got pulled over, the police realised who it was, and they sent him on his way without breathalyzing him. This tells me he was drunk. We've all been pulled over. We've all been breathalyzed. They don't let you go anywhere until you've blown. Right? So just because of his high society, he shouldn't be treated any different. And he has been. So there's one where I know he's a blatant, getting away with because of his title. And this isn't right. I don't care who you are in the royal family. If you've done wrong and they can prove you're doing wrong or you're doing wrong, you want prosecuting with the full extent of the law, like I would, like everybody else would who's going to listen to this video. And that's just the way I see the world. If I've done something wrong, prosecute. Right, anyway, so he broke a woman's arm. The woman has got all sorts of threats and stuff like that, not to pursue him and things like that. He was hushed through it, and he decided not to drive again and hand his licence in, but then seen driving afterwards. This is wrong for me. He wanted pursuing with the full attention of the law, and of course they didn't. So this is my belief system. So I'm very sorry for the loss of him. He's a human being, first and foremost, before he's I'd say a slave master. Because I want to point out what your birth certificate is. Your birth certificate is giving you the government right to govern you. I.e. you being property of the realm. Now, This is plain to see. You can go and do your research. Please do your research. This is plain to see that this is true. Now, it changes you from a human to a person, giving the authorities right to govern you. Take your birth certificate away, rip it up, they can't govern you no more. Right, now, I'm going to touch briefly on his son, Andrew. Now, his son is being linked in an investigation in the US, which is all over the papers, all over the media. I know he's done videos on it. Or he's done interviews on it, sorry. Which went terribly for him. Let's be honest. Let's have it right, people. Let's have it right. It went terrible for him. Because he showed the world he was guilty. Showed the world he was guilty. We've seen all these pictures of Epstein's company, convicted paedophiles and sex traffickers, and he's smoozing with them like the best mates, keeping nice company. Right. So what I'm going to say to you is, I mean, the US, I can't remember which organisation in the US, but they've asked for him. I think it's the FBI. I think it's the FBI have asked him to come and give an interview in the US, and he's refusing. He ain't going to no US. Now, I think this is wrong for the British. They should send him on the first plane to the US and let him give his side of the story, because he's a free, innocent man at this moment. So, he's just alleged to have done these things. Right. So, until I see that, him on a plane over there, Philip being prosecuted for breaking a woman's arm in a car crash. Until I see these things, I'm not going to be a fan of yours, because I don't see why you are better than anybody else. I don't see why you, as a prince, should be treated any different to anybody else. Because apparently we're a democracy, which, which is bad. A democracy. This is slavery and nothing else but. Right. So we're going to see, we've touched on Andrew, we've touched on Philip. I just think the British taxpayers shouldn't be bundled with another. I mean, there's a pandemic on, remember. A pandemic, or plandemic, as some are calling it. So money, there's no money around. No one's going to, or not many people are working and things like that, and one thing and another, and there's all sorts of restrictions for us and things like that. Of course, none of them apply to them, of course. What I will say is, I don't see why the taxpayer should pay for it. This man is wealthy to unknown wealth. They've got that much money, they don't tell you how wealthy they are. Trust me. They've been skimming it off the top for years. And, I mean, it was only the 90s, I think it was, when the Queen decided to start paying tax. Yeah, I know, in the 90s. So, for all them years, tax-free incomes of millions of pounds. Let them tick over, let them grow. These benefits of being at the high of society. I'll be totally honest, break the monarchy down. It's the people's monarchy. It isn't theirs, it's ours. It's the majority's. So why isn't it serving the majority? It isn't. Now, I don't want to preach too much. I want to have your respect other people's opinions and things like that. But this is how I see it. We need to get rid of them. Don't forget, we've still got all the palaces. We've still got all the palaces because they're ours. They're not theirs. They're ours. Now, we'll still get all the revenue from tourism. People are still going to want to go to the palaces, where the Queen used to live, and all these, we should open them right up to the public, to the people. One love, people. One love, people. Now, this probably sadly is not going to happen. I want to point out, when you're born into the royals, I mean, we've seen the problems with Diana, unfortunately no longer with us. The problems, the things she accused the royals of doing. We've got loads of evidence upon evidence. There's bodies found on the estate, what no one else can get to, of course, unless you're allowed onto the property. There's bodies being found there. I believe, going off my memory, but you have to fact check me if you want. But I think it was in the 80s, 70s or 80s. There's reports of in Canada at a children's home where the Queen and Prince Philip took 10 children from this children's home, and they were never seen again. Who knows where these children went? They were never seen again. They weren't brought back to the home. They were apparently going out for a picnic, but they were never returned. And this has been sat on this information's been out in the public domain for years. Nothing's done about it. Now, I just don't see that as fair. I don't see why they should be treated any differently. She should be prosecuted. They should be prosecuted for these kids missing. They should be given us statements and saying where these children went. At the end of the day, no matter where they are in the world, these children are still children. They're someone's son, daughters. They still, need to be accounted for. Until these happen, I want rid of them, because I believe they're a cancer on this country. They've given all our way. They're selling away all our sovereignty. Royal Mail, half owned. The Bank of England, all owned privately. Where do we stop? Bits of the NHS drifting into private hands. The bit that makes all the money, remember? That's what the business people want to buy. They don't want to buy the crap that doesn't make them any money, when an old lady wants a bandage for a sprained ankle or anything like that. Anything that's not going to make them money. They're picking off all the assets, and they're just leaving the country with all the stuff that's non-profitable, for the hospitals, for the Royal Mail exists as well. Now, you don't have to be a genius to smell a rat. Let's have it right, people. Let's have it right. Let's talk free and open. You don't have to be the smartest carrot in the box to see that something ain't right here. Now, please, I respect everyone's opinion. I can't say it enough. I respect everyone's opinion, and I don't think you're right for thinking something different. I think you're wrong for thinking differently. And this is just how I see the world. Free and open. So until I see these injustices, I want rid of them. I want the people, let's share their wage out between all the people of the UK. Let's cut their wage out, and what revenue they're taking off tourism at the royals, palaces. Let's share that money out between the people. Evenly. Whatever the numbers are in this country, share them out. I'm not bothered if you're from English descent. I'm not bothered if you're Russian descent, Indian, Pakistani, whoever you are. You've got a British passport, you get that money. Let's take it off the Queen. Billions and billions of pounds that she has. Let's take it off there. This is our money. You shouldn't have got rich doing this. Okay, she deserves to get a wage. She deserves to be looked after so she's safe. So the royal family are all safe. I think that's important. They shouldn't be, because they are going to be targeted by extremists. And I don't want anyone to get hurt. I'm not saying that's the right way to go. I'm saying the right way to go is give it back to the people. This is the right way to go. It's our money. It's our sovereignty that you've sold off. It's ours. We should decide. And I'm not talking about them puppet MPs. puppet MPs. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people should decide, not the MPs. Because, you know, the MPs have just been greasing their own pockets, haven't they? Let's have that right as well. The MPs are the same. So let's go back to a level playing field where everybody's treated the same. Everybody, you know, breaks somebody's arm in a car crash, goes to prison. Or everybody, you know, gets sent away. I mean, look how many people have extradited to America for putting something in the paper or in the public domain. You know, they just extradite you. They don't mess about. They don't think, oh, you know, he's got his own, you know, they've got their own lives to live. But for telling the truth, for saying the truth, people are extradited to America. This man's accused of Andrew is accused of child abuse, statutory rape. There's numerous women suggesting that he did this to them. Statements the US have got, and he's still walking. Wake up and smell the coffee, people, because in my house it smells strong, and I don't like coffee. I'm an Earl Grey sort of a guy. So let's have it right, people. Let's say how it is. Let's not just sugarcoat it like the media will. You know, he's a saint. He was brilliant. He was he was some kind of god. Let's have it right. He wasn't nice, Philip. He wasn't a nice individual. He did loads of things in his life that weren't right, and he got away with them. You might tap him on the back and say, well done. But whose expense? It's the British taxpayer. It's the British people. Not even just the taxpayer. It's not about money sometimes. It's just about justice and what wasn't done. Right, so I'm going to cut that short there. And I hope you like a little bit of the truth. Because I think the truth's important. The truth just stands. Lies don't. They might for a while. But the truth comes out in the end. Let the truth out. One love, people. Thank you very much for listening. If you took the time to, please subscribe. Please like in comments and engage if you want. I would love to be engaged about this. Thank you very much, people. One love. Bye-bye.